What's going on, guys? It's me, TheRealMossi, with another Battlefield 3 quick tip for you. This time we're going to take a look at the best setups or loadouts for scout choppers. This has been one of the most requested videos, so let's get started. I'll start off by giving you some basic information about the scout choppers. As of now, there are two scout choppers in the game, the AH-6J LITTLEBIRD on the American side and the Z-11W on the Russian side. I say as of now because of all the expansion packs and map packs that are coming out in the near future. They might introduce some new helicopters in one of those expansion packs. But for now, you only get two. And as of now, they're only available on two maps on the consoles, Damavand Peak and Noshar Canals. On the PC, I think they're available on a third map, Karg Island. Alright, so the scout choppers can carry a maximum of 4 people, 1 pilot and 3 passengers. But it's not smart or practical to have 4 people in the chopper at all times. You want to have 4 people in the chopper at the beginning of a match, use it to transport your teammates and drop them off near an objective or behind the enemy for a quick flank. At all other times, it's not practical to have all 4 seats filled. In the attack helicopter, both the pilot and the gunner contribute upgrades, gadgets and weapons to the helicopter. But unlike the attack helicopter, the scout helicopter does not have a gunner's seat, and only the pilot's upgrades, gadgets and weapons will apply to the chopper. That means that the passengers contribute nothing, at least in terms of unlocks, to the scout chopper. But the passengers can contribute something very important, the ability to repair. To do this, the passenger needs to be an engineer with a repair tool equipped, and they must be sitting in one of the 2 side seats to use the repair tool. You really only need 1 passenger to help repair. Having 2 engineers as passengers would make repairing the chopper faster and easier, but this also means that you have 1 less person on the battlefield pushing for the objectives. So in the scout chopper, it's best to have 1 pilot and 1 passenger. Alright, now that we have some of the basics out of the way, let's look at the different unlocks available for the scout chopper. There are 3 different slots: the vehicle upgrade slot, the vehicle gadget slot, and the vehicle weapon slot. In the upgrade slot, you have the following options. You can see the experience points required to unlock each of the options. Here are the options for the vehicle gadget slot and the vehicle weapon slot. There's also a permanent upgrade called below radar. Once unlocked, it doesn't need to be equipped and it doesn't take up one of the 3 slots. What it does is it prevents enemy lock-on when you're flying at low altitudes. Check out the link on the screen for an in-depth look at below radar. Alright, I usually give you setups based on the situation, but in the case of the scout chopper, there's actually only one definitive setup that the vast majority of experienced players use. I'll show you what that is. It'll be our advanced setup. But first, I'll start off by giving you a beginner setup for those of you who may not have all the unlocks required for the advanced setup. Okay, so here's a beginner setup. It's a basic, straightforward setup with some early unlocks. In the upgrade slot, you want belt speed. It lets you fire the scout chopper's minigun for 1 second longer and allows it to reload half a second faster, so it'll give you a lot more offense. This is especially useful for beginners who have difficulty aiming. With belt speed, you have more time to get the kill. Keep in mind that the belt speed only affects the miniguns. It does not reduce the reload time for heatseekers or guided missiles. If you find yourself getting lost or disoriented a lot, or if you have difficulty figuring out where the enemy is, go with the air radar instead of belt speed. Okay, now for the gadgets. Use the simple, straightforward IR flares. And as for the weapons, go with the heatseekers. Like I said before, this is a simple, straightforward setup for beginners with early unlocks. It's a solid setup and it was pretty viable and practical until people started using the next setup I'm about to show you, which is the advanced setup. The advanced setup completely destroys the beginner setup. In fact, beginners really don't stand a chance if they go up against someone with the setup I'm about to show you right now. So here it is. In the upgrade slot, you want the laser painter. You'll see why when I get to the weapon slot. In the gadget slot, go with the ECM jammer, and in the weapon slot, go with probably the best and most versatile vehicle weapon in the game, the scout chopper's guided missiles. Now usually the guided missiles can only lock onto and fire at ground vehicles, but with laser designation they can go after aircraft as well. That's why you need the laser painter. The laser painter can target enemy aircraft, which can then be acquired by the scout chopper's guided missiles. And the best part is, a laser guided missile destroys enemy aircraft with a single hit. Yup, it's a one-hit KO on aircraft every time if you land it. It's a one-hit disable on land vehicles. So if you pair the Scout Chopper's laser painter with its guided missiles, you can engage both land vehicles and aircraft with the same lock-on weapon. This is the only vehicle in Battlefield 3 that allows you to do this by yourself, that is with only a pilot. You can do this in attack choppers, but you'll need a pilot and a gunner. But wait, it gets better. The only way an aircraft could deter the Scout Chopper's laser guided missile is with the ECM jammer. Land vehicles can use the IR smoke to break a lock-on. After the recent patch, the IR flares on aircraft cannot deter the Scout Chopper's laser guided missile. So if an enemy pilot doesn't have the ECM jammer unlocked or equipped, they're basically a sitting duck, and you'll see this in the gameplay. The enemy pilot can pop his flares all he wants, but that guided missile will still hit him. This is why the beginner setup and beginners in general don't stand a chance against this setup. The ECM jammer is the last unlock at 48,000 experience points, and until you unlock it, you're going to be a sitting duck since the vast majority of people use this advanced setup. So work on leveling up your Scout Chopper. Capture flags, repair friendly choppers, do anything you can to unlock the ECM jammer, because without it, you won't be able to fly the Scout Chopper for more than a few seconds before you get destroyed. Alright guys, here's this week's quote of the week with last week's answer. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe if you want more. If you want some tips on leveling up fast, check out the videos on screen. Thanks again, I'm TheRealMossi. Tell your friends about me.